Whenever I photograph someone that I haven't met before, they often say to me, "Oh, I never look good in pictures. I just look terrible in pictures." And I always say to them, "Don't worry, that's my job. I'm going to make you look good. I'm going to make you look comfortable." And then I do two things. So I have kind of two different things that I do when I do a pre-session consultation. I'm sitting there with them right before we do the session, and I ask them lots of questions about themselves. And I ask them, what are the kind of things that you're worried about when you have your picture taken? And when you're having your picture taken, like when you show them to people, what do you want to have come across? And I'm watching them the whole time. So I'm also obviously listening to their words. If they're like, "Oh, I want to look happy," or, "Oh, I want to look sophisticated," then that helps me to, know what direction I want to take it. But also, I'm watching their expressions. Are they laughing? Are they serious? Are they pulling away from me, uncomfortable? And really, I'm kind of searching for who they are and what makes them look good as I'm asking them those questions, making that connection with them. And then when I ask them, like, what kind of things are you worried about? A lot of times people will say really actually really good things, especially now that we have our own phone and our own camera on our phone. People will say, "Oh, one eye goes smaller than the other," or I worry about my hair. And so I always address all of those things so that they feel seen. And so when we're getting to the photo shoot, that they're not worrying about those things and trying to fix those things while we're shooting. That rather than them worrying about themselves and how they're coming across and what they're going to do, they're connecting with me and looking at me. Okay, so that's the first thing. The first thing is that I find out about them and I ask them about themselves, and I'm watching them and listening to them and thinking about them. Honestly, I'm kind of falling in love with them a little bit. And I know that sounds silly, and not everyone is easy to fall in love with. Let me tell you that. But I'm on their side. I'm for them, and I care about them. And they can tell that. And so once we walk out and we're in the camera room, we're starting to shoot, then the next thing that I do is I'm projecting who I am to them. And so I have a lot of photographer friends. I've been in the business for a really long time. And so if you laid out a bunch of my friends and their work, I could point to who shot what by just looking at the subject's eyes, because you can tell who the photographer is in the eyes of the subject. You can tell whether someone is more serious and haughty, or if you can tell if someone's more thoughtful and quiet. And for me, I want to project to them a confidence and happiness and just an inner joy. And that's what I'm wanting in my clients. And I think that makes such a big difference when you figure out who you are and what message that you want to give to the world, and you're putting it out there between you and the client, then you're creating that on the other side. So when someone gets their images and they look at them, they're not only seeing themselves as comfortable and seen, but they're also seeing someone who has joy and is confident. And so my goal is for them to see themselves as who they are and as who they can be. I encourage you to think about that, to think about how you see clients and also how they see you, because that will make a difference in the images and in your final images.